say this is a big rich town. I just come from the
Hey everybody, it's the Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show presents the Power Review. This episode 306 titled The Right Decision. I'm Preach here with the usual suspects, Dino and Voice. And listen, I want to first apologize because last week, after a great episode, we had suspected that the next episode was going to be a big disappointment. We didn't think it was going to be as good. We thought it was just going to be, just go through the motions. We were willing to accept that. To our surprise, boy, was this one just as good.
One of us chagrin and humiliation here, but it is what it is.
This one was, we thought it was only going to be about the transport of Lobos to the feds, but oh my God, so many twists and turns.
So much more.
With this episode. Where do you guys want to start?
Begin.
I mean,
they do it again. They rip another moment from me. Let me tell you why.
What is this?
Last week, when they killed Holly, as much as I wanted her dead, I was dissatisfied with how they killed her.
Right.
I thought it was sad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been waiting for Jamie and Angela to break up for a while, too.
Yeah. Oh, you were waiting for that.
Yes. I don't care for their situation at all. Not that I like Tasha either.
Okay.
I don't like Angela at all.
Okay.
What? That scene, I'm not going to lie, a weaker man, not this man. But a weaker man.
Oh, God. Okay.
A weaker man almost ran out this room. Okay.
All right.
I needed the Kleenex. It was.
So what you're alluding to is the fact that Ghost, Jamie Fitzpatrick, decided to end ties with Angie.
Correct. He did it. Granted, he did it to save her life.
It's for the right decision.
Okay, he did it. It was a decision. He's a calculated guy, and he did it. As the best thing to do.
Right.
It was a tough scene to watch. They both were really upset. I mean, she's sobbing.
Right.
He's emotional. I've never seen him this emotional.
Yeah, you too though. You were a little. You had to leave the room a little bit. It's fine.
You took your shoes off. That's what. That's
my
what
fault.
happened. And the tears came out. But it is what it is.
Right. It was all on me. All right. Well, to give a quick summary of why they decided to break up, or he decided to break everything off with Angie, we found a lot of things out. So during the transport of Lobos in police custody or federal custody. Like at the end of the last episode, 305, Ghost and Tommy had agreed in that car to say, listen, we got to get rid of Lobos. We got to do it. So they devise a plan. They figure everything out. It's funny. They're actually working. They were working with the same crew that's connected. Well, not this, with Lobos' crew, who's getting the information from the guy inside the feds. I forget the gentleman's name, but they're getting text messages, and obviously they're being told where Lobos is and where he's going to be. So they devised a whole plan to help him escape and so on and so forth. So Tommy is working with Lobos' crew, but they don't know Tommy is working to get rid of Lobos. So, which was crazy upon itself. But one thing about this season that you're witnessing from Ghost is weakness, a lot of weakness, and surprisingly, him being unprepared. Like, he's been caught off guard like numerous times now.
Right.
So, they sabotage the whole escape. They get Lobos to themselves, and they devise a plan to kill Lobos and bury him. But Lobos says certain things to them. He mentions Ange. And as Tommy said in the episode, Ange is Ghost's big weakness.
That's much like Holly was his.
Absolutely. So They go back. If you see confusion,
about whether or not they're gonna pull this off or not.
Usually, every hit is
nice and clean.
Yes, it's very well planned and it's done. There's no questions asked.
Again, in season 2, the last episode, Ghost killed everybody.
Yeah,
and that damn again, including
with
Joe.
No regard.
Like I said, including Joe.
With
like
no regard.
Everyone got it. It was ridiculous.
Right.
This one, they're sloppy. They have to think a little bit harder now. It's
Right.
not as easy anymore.
Right, because there's so many. I mean, I think it's safe to say the women in the series are the weakness of men. Yeah, I mean, it's usually
different from real life.
Right,
yes.
true, but I mean, especially now, you see how much, Ghost was willing to do for Ange and how much Tommy was willing to do with Holly.
Yeah.
They are truly their weaknesses, and so you see Lobos mention Angie's name, and you see Ghost get flustered.
Oh yeah,
and so. And, he loses his eye on Lobos. He ends up running into the forest.
rookie mistake.
Right. I mean, because
while they're turning around arguing about it.
Right, yeah.
Why would you do that? Especially dangerous as he is.
And
I'm just saying.
And it's just crazy to me, the fact that, towards the end of the episode, Tommy is somewhat berating Ghost and saying, listen, I told you to get rid of Ange a long time ago, and you didn't want to do it.
You notice that moment they switched roles?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tables turn, and all of a sudden he's the reasonable one.
Tommy is usually the confused, looking for answers guy, and Ghost is the one dictating what's going to happen.
Don't get it twisted. Tommy still ain't rap tight. He might be crazier now.
Right.
There was a point now where he goes to where they dumped Holly.
Right.
And he walks in. Of course, he's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And he lays the ring down, the ring that Ghost gave back to him, the one
Right.
he gave to Holly.
Right.
He said, "Hey, I got this for
Yeah.
you."
He's a loose cannon now, because I think there was a point in the episode where he tells Ghost, "F that. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna go this route."
Yeah.
And it's like you said, the roles have totally reversed now. And the crazier part. Well, let's talk about the Greg Knox situation, because Greg was accompanying Lobos while they were transporting him upstate, and Greg Knox voice almost predicted, almost had it right,
Almost.
that this was going to be the end of Greg Knox. They end up shooting him a couple times. He ends up taking it in the
Chest.
in the chest, the bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
So at first you think he's gone, but then he survives. But then he figures it out that it's an inside job. Somebody at the federal government is helping Lobos, and now he's all on it.
Yeah, because he noticed they went right for Lobos's
Right.
No, what do you call it? GPS.
Right.
on his
The
ankle.
tracker device
Yeah,
on his
yeah.
right. So yeah, he figures that out. He sees that. It was just amazing to me that it would have been I wouldn't say justice. It would have been right that okay, well Greg Knox is gone, and then now they have a headache that's gone away.
Right,
but
right.
no, it's gotten even bigger now.
Now it's even worse because now he knows that there's a mole within
Right.
the system, and of course he looks directly at who? Angie.
Right. Which was
but
unbelievable.
He did look at the other guy. His name is Mike Sandoval. He did
Sandoval.
look
Right.
like him.
Mike
He-
Sandoval, yes,
he,
yes,
he,
yes.
he looked at him too.
Right.
So he's under suspicion that
Mike
he's-
Sandoval was the gentleman who was telling his Lobos' team where they were going and so on and
Right,
so
right,
forth.
right.
So he accompanied, he was helping out with that situation. So, but to me, and I don't know if you guys agree, it seems like he's giving away who the mole is. I mean, it's funny when he's in
Yeah.
the meetings, he's like, no, Lobos is a good guy.
Give us away.
We don't
I don't
need
know.
that. Yes.
I
Exactly.
don't understand what the big hoopla is about him. He's a great guy. I don't know what it is. Let's just let him go.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of feel like he's giving himself away a little bit. And so finally they catch up to Lobos. They decide to off him. And so, Ghost thinks everything is safe. Everything is good. Everything's cleared up. He could go back he has no more connect. He could get out the drug game,
Little does he know.
focus on the club. He's out of it. So then he calls a meeting to fire the security team that saved his life, which in my opinion is, why did he want to fire them so fast? Like, what was his deal?
I mean, at the end of the day, he's paying money for him. Lobos is gone,
Yo,
so he
you,
feels
sa-
he
you
has. He
saved
doesn't have an
my
issue.
and my son's life.
But again, if Lobos is dead, right?
Right,
What's his issue now? He still feels Kanan is dead.
right.
A little surprise coming his way.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, hey, what would
I
be
don't-
the need?
I don't know. I mean, Kanan is still around. Why wouldn't you want to keep that security?
He does
They
not know
li-
Kanan is still around.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Listen, especially the life he lives, I would not take anything to chance.
And
So,
also keep in mind, he feels he's going clean. He's going legit. He
Right.
feels his enemies are gone. He patched things up with Tommy.
right.
So yeah.
All right, I get it. So he calls a meeting with the security team and decides, I'm going to have to let you guys go. And then they revealed who they are the Serbians. Now, remember last season, when Ghost went on this killing spree, and Vladimir was one of the people that Ghost had killed.
Yes.
Come to find out, Milan, is his brother or is it just a...
I think Milan was who he answered to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he
He's
was the person
Yeah, yeah.
above. So, but I don't think Milan really cared.
He doesn't care about.
He doesn't care about that. That's not
He
his.
cares about the money he's lost now.
Right,
over
right.
time and the shipment and all that.
Right.
He doesn't even care about his life because he said even if he's dead, it's
doesn't
still-
matter.
They circle the whole perimeter.
But this is a prime example of where you see Ghost get outsmarted, where you hired the Serbians.
Hide your enemies.
Yeah, and now they know your club, they know your family
They
because
know
they're watching.
Tariq
your family.
badass and
That's
What he
right,
said last,
right.
last episode, that's your son, good looking boy.
Yeah.
That right there.
Oh
Was the
wow,
tipping
that
point.
makes. I mean, now when you look back at that, now you see.
And we mentioned it. We mentioned how weird
something
it was when he said
something
that.
was right.
You know,
Something was
Cam-
off.
Camera pans in on him and all that. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
was crazy.
So he's telling Ghost, he sit Ghost down, tells him, listen, we know Lobos is gone. That's when Ghost gets the revelation, like, well, who are you? Who are you working for? They reveal themselves, and so Ghost is in a, he's in a tough predicament.
Yeah.
He's in a bad spot right now. So now they're like, well, no, now we're gonna be your connect. You're gonna work for us, and you can't get out because we know your wife, we know your kids, we know your club, we know you, we know Tommy. We could off your whole family, your whole situation in an instant. So you have no other choice but to work with us. And, so Tommy's having the conversation with Ghost, and he says, listen, you got to get rid of Angie.
They know us. We don't know them.
Well, and Tommy means killing Angie.
Yeah.
But in reality, then, Ghost says, no, I'll just break it off, which was a very emotional scene. This one was definitely for the ladies. I mean, this was definitely an emotional. Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. That scene when he's in the door and all of a sudden I see him like, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something. So we're watching this thing, right?
So wait. Y'all ain't never had a rough breakup?
Not like that.
No.
This guy just
I never.
leaves a
like
Dear
that.
Jane letter and walks out. For those of us who've been through something, okay, it was rough to see.
I cannot
That's all.
picture you making a face
Dear
like
John.
this when you're breaking up with somebody.
It was just tough to watch, okay? That's all I'm saying, man.
Fair enough.
You kind of, you were like, whoa.
No, he did say that it was garlic around the
Bunch
area.
of
So.
tin men.
But it was a very, I felt a certain type of way with it, especially Angie's reaction.
Angie was sobbing, bro.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
It's an emotional thing though. It's a tough situation, but now, we see that, and now we got to segue into Tasha now. So let me tell you why we love Tasha. Well, let me speak for myself. I love Tasha a whole lot more ever since this show has started. One, she's definitely a down girl. She's mad at Ghost no matter what, but she definitely has his back. So they devise a plan, well, essentially an alibi. So if they say, where was Ghost or where was James, he can say, well, I was staying at the hotel with my wife, Tasha, and she's going along with the whole plan. But she discovers the divorce papers, well, the separation papers, which puts him in a really tough spot now.
So my question to that is, I don't understand the emotional part of it. She's answering questions. She's responding, I love you. She's seeing exactly how they act around each other. But what got her was the divorce papers.
That's a fair assessment. I mean, that's
because
a good point.
It just makes things real.
Yeah, right.
It's one thing to know something
like that is a pivotal.
Yeah, but it's one thing to notice something's coming, and it's one thing for it to actually get there. It just makes things more real.
Right.
When she saw the papers, and mind you, he didn't present it to her. She came across it. You know
And
what
it
I'm
seems
saying?
a bit aggressive too. Like, mind you, they just, separated. She understands that Angie's the new girl, but you're ready to get rid of it this fast and, not understanding the repercussions because you're still in the game.
Yeah. So the creative hope probably.
Right.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
she's still in the game, but I love her more and more as the series progresses. It's just amazing. And so now that he's broken up with Angie, is he going back to Tasha? How do you even rework that?
He can't go back to Tasha. I mean, he really put his foot in his mouth with this whole situation. So, like, I don't know what he's going to do.
Because
He's gonna be alone. It's going to be exactly how that picture of the advertisement is. You got one person with people on one side, you got other people on the other side, he's in the middle. He doesn't know what to do.
Well, I think the thing is he can go back to Tasha and say, listen, we're in a tough spot right now. And she's going to be like, I'm in a tough spot right now. The kids are acting up. Security knows you.
Everybody's against
I want to be back in the house. Just so I don't want to get back together. I just want to keep you guys close just so I know what's going on, especially with my kids in the house. No, I think Tasha will understand that. This season's Tasha will understand that.
Yeah.
She may hate him.
I agree with you.
Yeah, she may hate him, but
plus I'm sure Ghost is happy to get off that futon and Angie's,
oh God,
Angie's tiny ass apartment. Yeah, man. You know.
Let's talk about the preview though. So we saw a few things. It seems like the feds bring in a person to find out who the mole is in their division. We see Kanan again. Kanan was not in this episode, but we see Kanan reappear in the previews.
It looks like he's roughing up Dre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because now he's gonna have to leverage Dre now. Wow. When you really look at it,
he has everyone.
Everybody's after him now.
He thought he was good.
Everybody.
There was a point. Let's speak about, before we even get to that, let's speak about the speech he gave Tommy after they killed Lobos.
Okay.
Basically on some, we're free now, we're good. And Tommy wasn't convinced.
Right.
Clearly Tommy wasn't convinced. Tommy kind of walked out. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, and he made reference. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, what happened with Holly? And he looked at me and said, okay,
Mhm.
and just walked off like he didn't believe him. There's still some tension there.
Absolutely right.
What I'm gonna find very interesting is the fact that Kanan is there, and what's gonna happen with this whole thing. Because Kanan's not gonna kill him. Kanan's gonna use him. So what's gonna happen between him and what's gonna happen when the Serbs get involved as well? He's gonna work with him.
Remember what Kanan's cousin? I can't think of her name right now.
Jukebox.
Jukebox. Remember
right.
what she told him? She said, "You don't gotta kill Ghost."
Exactly.
Kind of let him to believe, get his family, get those around him.
And the Serbs do.
Watch out for that boy Tariq, yo. They put a lot of focus on him this year.
Yeah.
Just watch out for him and how he pops up.
Tariq,
into things,
yes.
yo.
But the crazy thing is, when you really think about it, Ghost is surrounded.
Yeah.
He is surrounded.
but by enemies, he's not. there's
Yeah,
not-
right. The only ally he has is Tommy, and to
even
be honest
Tommy
with you,
ain't fully
yeah,
in.
even Tommy's not all the way in. You can see in the previews. I mean, obviously we don't understand the context of it, but it seems like Tommy goes on his own way and says, "Listen, you handle things a certain way. I'm gonna handle it my way."
Because now if they're back together, Tommy's not gonna go back to being the two guy.
Right,
Right.
So now that clash is gonna happen.
right, right.
Well, remember what Holly said? That's never gonna leave his head right now. He's gonna make sure that it's gonna be known.
He's surrounded. Like when you really think the Serbs know his family. They're surrounding him. Kanan, when he reappears,
Yep.
that's another enemy. You don't know how cooperative Tasha will be. You don't know how much of a wild card Tommy will be. Let's not forget about Ruiz. Like we don't know how far this goes.
True.
This looks like he's surrounded. Like it's pretty scary. So,
What do you think is gonna happen with Angie? What do you think Angie's gonna do in this? Because in the preview she did say something very interesting.
well, they do meet again. I think he has a meeting with her about business. I don't know if it's necessarily about their relationship. I think it's just strictly
Yeah.
because Ghost is a mental player, so he's going back and trying to figure out what she knows and what's going on, and how deep. You got to she's already in too deep.
Correct.
And then Greg Knox is, listen, I know somebody's working
Yeah,
in
and he's on her
division.
ass. He feels this all.
Absolutely. So, I don't think she's in a great position either.
Well, as far as Greg Knox, I'm still my prediction. He's definitely gonna die, but I don't think it's gonna be them. I have a good feeling that Mike is gonna be the person that's gonna off him. Because he's gonna lean close to Mike.
I think Mike gets exposed next episode.
Yep.
Definitely. I think the guy who was feeding Lobos, that guy is.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
think-
I don't
What do you
think
think?
Mike's not
letting-
getting exposed until the end of the season. Next episode will be what? 7?
Yeah, right. So,
Like, maybe a couple weeks afterwards, but not next episode.
but I think it's obvious. I mean, if you're one of the agents sitting in one of those meetings and you see this guy speak about the whole Lobos case,
Right.
you're not sitting there like, this doesn't bother you as much as it bothers us. What's the deal?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're real pro Lobo,
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
What is the deal with you and Lobos, man?
Rest
What's
in
going-
peace to him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my dude.
He's a funny character, man.
He was yo. Why'd he put his feet up
Singing
on Knox in the damn?
Yeah,
What's that
he-
about? Like
he-
he's so weird. And then when the car, let me leave him alone. Let me leave Lobos alone.
Singing
Yo,
jingles.
when he put his face right to Knox,
Yeah,
I'm like, yo,
yeah,
what are you doing?
He's a great character, though.
Yeah.
Great character. I mean, and he was funny, very provocative, very smart, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that he brought up Angie and Holly while he was being transported by Ghost and Tommy, kind of playing with their mind and kind of, had them being a little bit indecisive.
Yeah,
was
just from
really
a viewer
genius.
standpoint,
Yeah.
Holly and Lobos are big losses.
Yeah.
Just as far
Yeah.
as entertainment
Right.
value and all that, especially
Right.
Lobos.
Yeah.
Lobos is entertainment value.
Right,
to
right,
the
right,
team.
right. Who would be the next person before we get out of here? Who would be the next person that would? Because I'm gonna make a prediction from the previews I saw. I don't see Tommy making it the whole season
I do. I really do.
because you can. And let me just preface this, okay? He's the wild card, and he says in the preview, and I could be totally wrong, and I hope I am, but you can see him say, I'm going to take matters into my own hand. And you see him in a submissive position in one of the quick clips in the preview. I would not be surprised if Tommy does not make it to the end of the season. Because think of it, how critical is Tommy now?
I think Tommy understands that responsibility, definitely has to partake, and he showed an example of that when he was talking to Ghost. I think the matters in his own hand is going to be he's going to be able to control the situation a little bit better. If you notice, it's been pivotal with 3 people. Ghost, he's flipped to the other side. Tommy, he's taking responsibility. Kanan is not going to be emotional. He's going to be around the perimeter. What I find very, very interesting is going to be the fact that when the Serbs basically said that I have everybody around you, What's going to be interesting is the connections that are going to be exposed with
Right.
those people.
Right.
I don't think Tommy's going to go. I think he's going to play smart and he's going to take responsibility.
I mean,
he's starting
I
to.
hope I'm wrong. Like I said,
I think they're gonna be working for the Serbs for a little bit.
Really?
I think it's almost gonna be reminiscent of when Ghost had to work for Stern
okay.
in the whole
All
club
right.
situation.
Okay.
I think that he's gonna have to find
But this is a much
way,
more
obviously
severe,
a more violent
yeah,
situation.
yeah,
Yes,
right.
obviously,
Right.
but I think he's gonna have to find a way to outsmart this guy to get out that situation. I don't think he's
This
just
is-
this is TV. He's not going.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your bread.
right.
All right, bye guys. Like it's not gonna work like that.
Right.
But it's gonna be something.
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong, but
You know what? I'm chilling off prediction, Joe, because I've been
Oh,
over
okay.
80.
No. Trust me, you're going to be probably getting consecutive hit after hit after
Bro,
hit.
I'm
So-
taking L after L.
Nah,
so
nah,
like
I
I'm
think
good
going
on
forward, you're gonna be
predictions.
I
right
hope
right
I'm
now,
wrong. Like I
son.
said, I hope I'm wrong about this one.
But
I hope.
Jukebox is not here. What's going on with her? That's what I'm trying to
No,
figure out.
she's another character that
She'll be back.
they
Yeah,
didn't.
no.
Here's
I
the
wonder
thing. Yeah,
why-
she'll
what
be
she's
back.
gonna
They
do.
didn't put her in 2 episodes just
For no reason, no.
Yeah, I think she'll be back
You
I
coming
wonder
back?
what she's going to do.
without a doubt. All right, man. It's been the Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio presents the Power Review Show. This was episode 306, The Right Decision. I hope everybody is okay from the emotional roller coaster, especially the gentleman across from me.
Yo, and that voice got that deep ass voice, so when he crying, it's just sound crazy. It just sound like an Isaac Hayes record.
Walk on by. Walk on by.
walking down the street,
And I start to cry.
Yo.
Walk on by.
Man.
All right, man. Check us out on the YouTube page. Follow the YouTube page, Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio or SMB TV. Also, listen to our radio show every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on Soundcast FM and Facebook Live. For Preach, Bino, Voice, we're out of here. Peace.